Okay, we'll try to do the last three problems here. Actually, the last two. 44, I apologize. I forgot to copy the picture on here and I don't have the book with me, but I wanted to get this video done and posted. So we can talk about this in class. Let me know if you want to talk about that. 48. Okay, let's see. Graph Fahrenheit temperature. F is as a function of Celsius is a line. We know that 212 degrees Fahrenheit is 100 degrees centigrade Celsius. I think that makes me old if I say centigrade. Also, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, what is the slope of the graph? Well, we want to write f as a function of c. So f equals a bunch of c's. That's what that means, to be f as a function of c's. And since they said it's a line, we know it's a line, sorry. We know that degrees Fahrenheit equals m times c plus b, where that's the y-intercept and that is the slope. So the slope is my change of y over change of x. And this problem is change of f over change of c, since my Celsius is going to be my x. So the change of f is 212 minus 32 over 100 minus 0, which is going to be 212 minus 32 is 180 over 100. Divided by 20 is 9/5. So there's my slope. Equation of the line is, well, I can use my point slope formula, which is probably the easiest to do, and just say f minus, I'm going to use this point right here because it has a 0 and it's easy, minus 32 equals 9/5 times c minus 0. Right, that's my point slope form that we used earlier in the problem, where we, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so then this becomes, the equation of the line becomes f equals 9/5 c plus 32, which I'm sure you guys have seen before. So c, use the equation to find Fahrenheit that corresponds with 20 degrees. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times 20 over 1 plus 32. So that's 4 times 9 is 36 plus 32 would be what, 68 degrees Fahrenheit? And what temperature is the same number of degrees in both Celsius and Fahrenheit? Ooh, that's a good question. When are these two equal? So I'm going to go ahead and say this. Instead of using a C or F, let's just use a different number. Let's say A. When is A degrees Fahrenheit equal to 9/5 times A degrees Celsius? And we'll solve this for A. So if I subtract the 9/5 from 1, I get 1A minus 9/5 A. Great, my A's look like my 9's. So that'd be 5/5 minus 9/5, negative 4/5 A equals 32. So A equals negative 5/4 times 32 over 1. Those cancel, which is negative 40. So if I plug in negative 40, 9/5 times negative 40 degrees Celsius, what do I get? I get 9 times 8 negative plus 32, which is negative 72 plus 32, which is negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's what this whole thing is, Fahrenheit. All right, and 59. A culture of bacteria doubles after 2 hours. How long will it take for the number of bacteria to reach 3,200? Okay, so I know doubling. I know this is an exponential equation, so the amount A is going to be the initial amount, we'll call it A0, times B to the T. Right, so I've got all these variables I got to figure out, or I've got all these variables, I've got two, A0 and B. So how do I figure out what they are? Well, let's take a look and see. We've got a culture of 100 bacteria That's my initial amount. It starts with 100. This is the initial amount, because when t is 0, that's 0. So A would be 100, or A0 would be 100. So I've got the amount of bacteria is 100 times B to the T, and I know it doubles after 2 hours. So if T is 2, A is 200. So I got 200 equals 100 times B squared. So that would be 2 equals B squared. So B would be the square root of 2. So I've got my formula. A is 100 times square root of 2 to the T. That's my formula for the amount of bacteria at any time T. And then it says, how long will it take for the bacteria to reach 3200? Okay, so now I'm going to get T by itself, so I divide by 100, I get 32 equals square root of 2 to the T. And we didn't talk about this much in class. How do I solve for T? And that's where we use logarithms. T equals log base square root of 2 of 32. That's just a definition of logarithm. It's the number that I raise the square root of 2 to get 32. Okay, so T right here is the number that I raise the square root of 2 to and get 32. Okay, and then if I do that in my calculator, let's see, we got log of 32 divided by log of square root of 2 is how I have to do it in my calculator. And you should get 10. Alright, so square root of 2 to the 10th is 32, which is exactly true. So after 10 years, or sorry, 10 hours, I'm thinking finances here or something. Okay, after 10 hours, you will have 3,200 bacteria. Alright, there we go.